This basically, this Jake Shiner question led me to other Fringe prospects, guys that we don't talk about a whole lot. Now, the first one that actually comes to mind is a player that I actually have talked about a little bit, and that's left-hander Ian McKinney. I have him ranked at 51, but he's been great this year. At Thursday's start being the exception, he was not good. He struggled, only went 3 innings, but he's kind of like Anthony Mashevitz in a way. Good curveball that he commands pretty well, but as a starter, he's 89 to 93 with some life. He uses a cutter slider and a changeup too. He's 26 years old, probably should see Tacoma sooner than later just to kind of see how he deals with the more experienced hitters. But McKinney, that curveball is legit. It's one of the better curveballs in the system. Interesting. And that pitch is kind of what's keeping him as a starter. And the fact that he throws strikes is keeping him as a starter right now. I'm not sure what that looks like in a pure relief role, though. And I think that's the difference between McKinney and Mashevitz. Mashevitz is a bigger, stronger guy, broader shoulders. You can see more physical projection there. We're moving Mashevitz from the starter role that he was in when he came to pro ball and early in pro ball, moving him to the bullpen, letting him max out, get you to 93, 95, 96. We've seen him up to 96, 97 a couple of times. We've seen some 95, 96s lately from Mashevitz. I'm not sure Ian McKinney can do that, but I think he also has a better assortment of pitches and has better command. So maybe he's just that. Maybe McKinney's just that fringe guy that comes up and he's LJ Newsome. He doesn't have great stuff, but he'll throw strikes, has at least one good pitch that's at least major league average. I'd say the curveball's above average. And it's not like he throws 86. He's pretty athletic. I think he's 5'11", 190 pounds. And he's been good for Arkansas. I'd like to see him go to Tacoma and, just kind of see what happens, see what develops. Right-hander Devin Sweet is another guy in Arkansas that falls into this category. He misses bats, low 90s, sets up an average to plus. Excuse me, that's an above-average changeup. That's an above-average to plus changeup. He's a reliever for me, but in short stints, he's touched the mid-90s before. And even without a good breaking ball, he could fill a role in the middle innings with the fastball changeup. If he's going to be in a short relief role, 93 to 95 or better with that changeup, and the changeup might play up into the plus to plus plus range. I mean, that's a pretty good reliever. That's a pretty good middle reliever, and that's fairly unique because most relievers are fastball curveball or fastball slider, right? And he throws a ridiculous circle change. Go look up some video on it. It's a pretty good pitch. It's pretty good command of it as well. I don't have Sweet ranked, which means right now he's not in the top 60, and that's mostly because I think he's a reliever. Shortstop Patrick Frick is interesting too. He's in Everett right now. Good athlete, has good bat speed, handles shortstop, needs to make a little bit more contact. He's 24 years old already, but the pop that he's added makes him interesting. He was a 14th round pick, 16th round pick 2 years ago. He came to pro ball as just like this experienced college player with a chance to hit for average, runs pretty well, not a burner, but he can draw some walks. We don't think the swing plane is going to allow for any power, and it didn't, but he's starting to show some gap power. And I think he has 8 doubles and a couple of home runs right now for Everett and can play a legitimate shortstop. So he's pretty interesting as well. I'm also a fan of Josias De Los Santos. Up to 94, slider can miss bats, good athlete, has really struggled with his control this season, though, and has never really shown average control just yet. So he's probably a reliever, but there's some physical projection left here. He's pretty athletic, good arm speed, and he's just 21 years old. So there's some time to try to build him up as a back-end starter, as a valuable back-end starter, and kind of see what happens. So there are like 4 or 5 fringe guys right there that I pay attention to on a regular basis because I've seen them and heard enough about them to kind of buy that, hey, they can be this surprise guy that shows up in a couple of years that we didn't talk about a whole lot, because it happens in every organization all the time. And to be honest with you, there are probably 10 or 15 or 20 more that we can talk about, especially down in extended spring training. Again, we're just getting to know those teenagers, those 16, 18, 20-year-olds.